Well, it's, as I said, I need to find out if there's something in the contract that prevents us from sharing it publicly. I think I already answered that.
Well, I'll tell you what, that sends up red flags to me, and this is not a transparent board. Okay? Second, why are y'all going out
I'm
hiring?
gonna do one question for each person.
Oh my
That's our
gosh,
protocol.
okay.
That gives everybody a
Somebody
chance to
give
speak.
you their time.
You can have
I'll
my
do that.
time. You can
Would you
have
like
my
to go
time.
next? Okay.
All right. Why are you going out and hiring an accountant or a tax attorney when we have the esteemed firm of Simmons and Dean? Because if they don't say that that real estate transaction is a conflict of interest, I would be very surprised.
But we can compare the price of asking them for their opinion versus the accountant. I mean, either one can give us the answer.
Well, I mean, I think a lawyer should answer. I don't think it's a tax attorney question. I think it's a lawyer question. We have attorneys.
We do. I mean, they're work by the hour though. They're not free.
I understand that. So you're not comfortable with asking them that?
No, we already went over this, Steve. He was gonna check the price for an accountant to answer it. And we're
Yeah.
gonna ask them if they say it's a lawyer
I did better.
Well, I mean, this is an attorney question. This is a conflict of interest question. This isn't a tax attorney.
We can ask them, Carol. We can call them.
Okay.
It's no problem. I was just trying to.
Well, I'd love to know the answer. The minute he gives it, I'll hold bated breath, man. I can't wait to hear the answer to that.
Yeah.
Because that is a cut and dry case of conflict of interest.
I say we get a professional answer to that question.
Fine, do
Okay.
it, do it.
And he's speaking from a wealth of experience as the procurement director for Charleston County, which we all lived in for decades. So he knows right from wrong.
I have never heard of a contract being secret. I mean, I just can't believe it.
Well, it's not secret. It's
Yeah,
just
well, that's what
what
you're
we
saying. You're not saying that, but you're meaning that. You're meaning that. You're
Yeah.
worried about CMG and what Steve Peck thinks, and it's our contract with him. Who works for who? I go back to my original.
So now go back to my original answer to that earlier meeting, which is, I just need to ask him, is there anything that's protected under the contract so we don't breach our own contract? As soon as I get that answer.
Who wrote the contract?
He did.
Why did we write it?
We don't write contracts. No one on this board is an attorney.
Oh, my God. Oh, Steve Peck's an attorney? I didn't
He
know.
has an attorney that writes them.
Okay.
When you bought your house, did you write your contract?
No, I
Really?
didn't. I didn't, but that's not the same
It
thing.
is. The
No, it's
expert writes
not.
the
We should be
contracts.
getting bids, we should be doing all
We
this.
did.
We should be, no,
Yes.
you got CMG to do it.
No.
We should be doing, there should be a contract administrator position on the board that looks at all these contracts and monitors them and polices it. You cannot totally put your whole trust in a vendor just doing things for you.
I mean,
You
we
should have one person on this board that looks at all the contracts, follows them, administers them, follows up with them, and if people in the neighborhood have a question about what's going on, they should be able to answer it.
I like that idea. We just need someone to volunteer for it. And then we could have that.
My volunteer days are over.
Along with the whole question of contracts and competitive bidding. And this was, I was surprised to see this, that CMG handled the competitive bidding process for the contract that was let to Ray Landscaping. Am I right about that?
No, what we did was we wrote up specs, the board looked at the specs, our horticulturist wrote up the specs. Sent them to the board, said this is the scope of work. Our horticulturist then sent it to 5 different companies who bid on the same specs. I got the data from Mike, sent it to the board decided who to go with.
And we picked the cheapest one, for the record.
So we outsourced the competitive
That's what
bidding
the management-
process to.
That's what a
a vendor.
management company gets paid to do. That's our job, is to do those things.
Okay, I'm
So
just
But
saying.
we don't sign a single contract. The board signs every contract. If it comes to me, I send it to the board. My signature does not go on anything, Steve's does not go on anything, because it's the board's decision for the association.
So if we have a hard specification, why does the answer or the question keep arising of it belongs to the golf course or it belongs to the community? If CMG has done that service for us, thank you by the way, then we all have a copy of those specifications, I'm assuming. We can look right at it along with the site maps that are included with your specification list, and it's gonna answer every question we have, which nobody's getting heated or aggravated. It would just again, I guess the transparency thing keeps coming back. So if that exists, give it to me.
I mean, anyone can have a copy of that. if they
Yeah,
want.
that's never been, the specs,
Literally,
the specs have
that's
never
what
been
Does
denied.
anybody want to see a copy of that?
I want to see a copy of it.
I beg to differ on that, because Jerry Ray called and he wanted to know exactly.
Could we let, I said, nobody interrupt each other.
Okay.
Let's try to just stick with it. If
That's
you
why I
would
left the room, I didn't want to.
If you would like a copy of that, or if anyone wants a copy of that, it's available.
All you have to do is email me.
I did bid up, I own the contract, I am in the landscape industry. I think that was fair to the community and to myself, but I've spoken with other landscapers who called me, are you bidding this? No, I'm not bidding it. Well, what are the specs for it? Again, this is just what friendly competition is telling me. I mean, if the specs exist,
We didn't send the specs out to every landscaping company in Charleston.
No.
no, just the
Mike-
5 you said to bid.
5 or 6, no,
Just-
Mike,
Just the 5 you said to bid.
let me
We'll
finish.
just open.
Mike has done this for 30 to 40 years. So he picks, for any community that we do it for, he goes ones that he thinks will be good for that community and are in the area those days, so there's not the travel issue that Ray Landscaping was
I think Jerry
included.
does a good job.
Ray Landscaping was included because he was the current landscaper, and so the current landscaper is always given a chance to bid again.
Question. Are you done, sir?
Yes, I'm done, but I was called by Baytree, which they told me they did bid on the contract. And the president of Baytree Landscaping specifically asked me, what are the specifications, because I have nothing to
Well, he
go
could have
by.
called the office and I could have given it to him.
Seems like.
So
I told
any-
myself, I live in the
anytime
neighborhood, I
anytime
shouldn't bid on
vendor
it.
calls, send it to the office,
Seems
that's
like
what
a
we're there
conflict.
for.
And I guess he should have followed that route.
Yeah, I mean,
But
Mike.
but if I had a copy of it, I could have helped him out with it.
If he was bidding, if he was asked to bid it, he had the specs.
Okay,
So,
I believe that to be the case.
Would you mind, what's your name, sir?
It's Charles Angle, A-N-G-L-E, 25 Steel Shadow.
He's one that was charged $250.
I've talked to him about that, Mike.
Was Jerry Ray on the board and then got the contract for doing the maintenance?
I was not on it then, my recollection. don't
I mean,
quote me.
there's one behind you on the board that can tell you what,
Okay.
so to me, it's
My
kind
recollection
of like
was
get on the board and, you know,
He
get
stepped
it
down when he took that contract, is that how you remember it?
Yes.
Does the board bid that?
So he stepped down, same with Karen, Karen was on the board at one point, when she got the management contract, she stepped down.
I've just got the contract.
I don't know, I wasn't there.
I've just got
Right.
it before the same zero.
You do realize that gives them a competitive advantage because they know what to bid.
No, that's not true. Everybody had the exact same spec sheet to bid on, what they.
But he
choose
knew
is
what
how
the
much
other
to
people were
charge.
paying.
No.
He knew what he knew what Glenn's Lawn Care was
Oh, we're
paying.
talking about then. Okay.
Yes.
It's still the cheapest though, isn't that the goal? To save money?
Well, the goal is transparency, and I felt slighted as a board member, like, what am I, chopped liver? What am I doing here if it's not to do things like contribute to a competitive bidding process for fairness? I was blindsided with a report saying,
We
here
talked
are
about it in
the,
meetings of what our process was.
pardon?
We've talked about it in meetings, what the process was before we did it.
I never was a party of any conversation such as that.
It took place in the meetings in this room, so
Yeah.
perhaps you don't recall that we were all here. including
And everyone got the emails
Yeah.
from me. With the,
About the,
you just said that you saw the list of what the homeowner, what,
I saw the bids.
that's
That
the
was
list.
the only time that I knew that we were even bidding the landscaping contract out. And it had CMG's name all over it. CMG did it, and so does that mean we're lazy as a board?
That's our job as a management company. Any management company would do that. That's part of what we're hired to do, is to get those
I
bids
just
for anything.
disagree, I disagree in principle with hiring one company to hire another. I think that we should we only have one real responsibility as this HOA board, and that is to maintain the grounds and ponds. So why are we shunning our responsibility to hire the only company that we really have a true responsibility to hire? We're giving that responsibility to somebody else. We don't have to have a management company. We could manage this thing ourselves.
No, we couldn't, But let me go ahead and go into some questions. Yes, sir.
Hey, Kurt Norman.
Yes, sir.
When they do, you said you accepted a little bid. First of all, you can kind of cherry pick the companies, because I've been in a similar situation. You can cherry pick the 5 people you get to, so you end up with the company that you want. But if we accept a low bid, and I don't know the answer to this, are we reaching that max and then they're continuing to bid on top of that? Are they going over bid?
Well, a good
What do you mean?
litmus
So
test.
if they bid 50,000, but are we getting a bill for 60,000?
Change your.
Oh, I see what you're saying. No,
Did they low bid?
The litmus test to your question would be, and the answer would be, what did they bid for 2015? Or 2016?
I don't remember.
And then what did we pay?
What, yeah, versus what we paid them.
The only thing that we pay beyond the contract is if there's something that happens like case by case, like a tree falls,
That's not true.
there's extra plantings, Heinz straws, access to the contract. They keep-
And are those listed on with the?
Yeah.
Retro-
Yeah,
Contract, so the
It's on the
contract
last
cost
page
plus.
of specs, what individual thing would be.
Other than that, the contract is the same every month.
So on 2015, they bid
I can't tell you what, we weren't here for 20.
Yeah.
2016.
2016.
And they bid X dollars, and did we exceed that by more than 10%?
Do we still have
I
those
did
records?
bid every year.
Yeah.
Do we still have those records, Aaron, of who did what? I mean, like, again, the landscaping is our only true responsibility on this
Okay,
board.
enough. Let him ask his question. We've got your position. You'd like to bid that out
No,
next
no,
time?
no, I just
contract
asked,
comes
do
up?
we have the bids
Of
from
course.
previous years?
Yes.
Well, then let's look at it,
For what purpose?
to see if the actual was dramatically different from the bid.
Okay.
Most contracts are, if you exceed 10%, then there's a little overreach, but it's
Yeah,
more
he
than
only
10%.
charges us if there's a reason and there's a specific tangible item like pine straw on X Street, or we need flowers in this flower bed, or tree falls.
Right, but if he bids 30 and we end up paying 50, and now the new bid's 50 and we end up paying.
Oh, I see what you're saying. No, it moved up a very small amount.
Yeah, it's not
Very, very small.
But it would be interesting to see actually what we paid versus what was bid.
Yeah, it depends on the environment, you know, what happens that year, how many trees fall.
But that should be,
You never know. Yeah, it is. We would take the answer.
like I said, it's more than 10%, usually there's a variance of 10% over, and then you start maybe looking at it.
All right. Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to go back to the lot, if you don't mind. Is it closed and obviously it looks like it's been put into the account?
Yeah.
At one time last year, we talked about setting up a fund for people in the neighborhood that might fall hard times. So I'd like for us to move on that eventually. And to say something about the lot, I talked to Ashley Pettit February 2016, and he told me that a black lady called him and was very anxious to get this lot.
Okay.
Now, that's all I'm saying, that's what he said to me.
Okay.
So, I
That's a
mean,
buyer.
when you say that a sell, you know, it doesn't sound exactly what Ashley told me. So I'm just putting that out there.
Thank you for that anecdotal information.
And it is upsetting that we're still talking a year and a half about an audit when we have somewhat been embezzled and nobody seems to be upset about it. That's still upsetting to me to see us still talking about it and nothing being done.
Me too.
The other thing I think I need to address with Liz, and maybe not, but I saw a coyote in the neighborhood in Middleborough coming in, good-sized one, about 2 months ago. One of my neighbors saw it around my house a month ago. How do we let people know, like if they let their dogs, or people walk their dogs very late at night? This could be,
This is honestly the first, no one's contacted the office that I'm aware of about this.
But
If you
should
contacted, yes, contact the
Oh,
office,
okay.
we can send an email out
okay.
to everyone, all the email addresses that we have, and
Okay.
say, it's just
It's
like
about-
alligator, we do the same thing with alligators.
It's
If
about the
there's-
size of a lab.
Have you-
I mean, it's not a small one, it was a pretty good,
So it's recent that you saw it.
2 months ago, I was coming back about 9 from St. Francis, a meeting at St. Francis, and right in the Middleborough area, when you turn off of East Ferry, it was there, and then a month ago, it was chasing
This
a
was a
cat.
fox.
Oh, fox, never mind.
Almost killed
Maybe we
your
could
cat.
just send a general email
So
that
you
says,
have a fox and a coyote?
watch out for
Well, I saw a
this.
coyote. It was about the size of a German Shepherd or a
And
lamb.
she's my neighbor,
Okay.
a fox.
I didn't know it was a fox.
Yeah, we can,
1 o'clock in the morning, we was trying to kill her cat, and I came
It's not my
outside.
cat, it's a feral.
Oh, it's the community cat.
So,
So,
yeah, anytime anything like that comes up, please feel free to email me or
Okay.
Tessa, who's the community coordinator, but we'll get an e-blast out.
But now, if something like that shows up at 3 or 4 homes or whatever, do y'all call somebody to take care of it?
We would recommend the homeowners calling animal control. There's not, I mean, we can call, but if the actual homeowners call and say, hey, this is what's going on, there might be more reaction.
It'll be quicker.
It'll be
No, I've
quicker.
called animal control.
Yeah.
They will
Definitely
not
anytime you
get
see-
it. No, they will not come out for anything.
And it's just like the alligators, there's a company that we use called Gator Getters that will come out and assess the alligator, if it's aggressive, that sort of stuff. And like there's one in the Village Green Pond last week, it was over 7 feet, that got removed.
He
And it was-
actually saw that
Homeowners were
in
feeding it.
Middleborough.
So that's the other thing.
And
And it's very illegal, they're feeding
It
it.
looked like
And it's
a
very
research
illegal and
station.
there's a huge fine associated with feeding any alligators.
There was an alligator on Shiloh's Parkway.
We've had
Did
it,
you
we
get
had them come look at it, but it was gone by the time they got here, but they have it on their radar to come back. That one is tested, they call that one in.
All right, I'm gonna move on if that's all right.
Oh, I'm fine, I'm finished, thank you.
So-
This question for, I guess, Liz, on the proxies coming in for the June the 5th meeting, how are we coming on that?
We haven't received, I think we received 19 in the office. Artemis sent me about 100,
I think it's on 111.
roughly over 100, so that's where we are right now. I have not verified all of them, I've just been collecting them, and when I get time, before the meeting, I'll verify that they're homeowners, that they're
How long
current.
did it take you to verify on? Because on your proxy that you sent out, you had no date of return date. So if somebody waits till June the 4th and send it, how are you gonna?
I'll check up
account for
until,
that, you know?
up
There should
in-
have been a deadline date of when the proxy should have been sent out.
to be honest, I check up until the day of the meeting, because we get them up until the meeting. I do the main ones, I haven't done it yet, but as they come in, closer to the meeting, I'll do them as they come in, I'll verify them. So typically up until either the day before or in the day of, because I'll still get them in the office sometimes the day of the meeting.
as they say on
Yeah,
that. Legally, you can hand the proxy right before the vote.
Yeah.
yeah, you can, we just gotta
You-
wait to start the meeting. till
Well,
we-
yeah,
We
just-
can do it then.
I'm saying that's why there's probably no return date, because you legally cannot do that.
I mean, you know, for verification.
It's more like an encouraged, it'd be nice if
Yeah.
you sent it.
Yeah, it's always nice to have it ahead of time, but if it's not, that's what we do.
Back corner, sir, yes.
Bill Cart, 248 Good Lane, several people asked me to bring this up tonight because they said they're not coming to any more meetings. What they observed in the past is that they felt that board members have been very unfriendly to people asking questions. Also, they observed non-board members not throwing comments in the meeting when they shouldn't have. They felt that members of the board saying if they don't be quiet, they're gonna shut it down, just move the meeting to somebody else. They felt it was a raucous here. Y'all need as board members to be, I can't believe I'm even bringing this up to adults.
Again,
Again,
Right.
but y'all need to be courteous. There was a comment tonight made about, well, if you're doing your research, really? That doesn't need to be done. I mean, I've got neighbors that said we're not coming in anymore. They were totally dismayed at what the board did. Now granted, there are people in the audience should be due. The other suggestion was, maybe at the beginning of the meeting, hey, thank you for all coming tonight. Whoever's on the board, president, whoever, says, hey, thank y'all for coming in. Let me go over the way we conduct this board, and we do it instead of saying, and we're gonna have in the minutes, just explain at the beginning, here's what we're gonna do, so everybody understands, and then we go through the board, and then it's done. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
I think most meetings I usually
Right,
say,
but
here's the process.
You didn't
and-
tonight, you just started the meeting and that, but again, I don't think I made it the last meeting, but several people said that, and I said, I guess I'll be the guinea pig and the righteous one to bring it up. These are just suggestions to make the board more friendly and more transparent. It may seem silly to some of you, but when you get 2 or 3 people telling me, can you do this tonight, I go, yeah, I guess.
Sure.
So,
I've had 4 or 5 people tell me the same thing.
so that's
that
my
he's
2
doing.
cents.
Okay.
Some of them mind.
Is there any board seats open?
No.
I mean, I think the bylaws say that you miss 3 meetings, you're off, right? I mean,
We're
we got some that
off,
miss
yeah.
3 meetings here.
Yeah. You could vote it off, yes.
I've got a question.
All right, now yeah, that's all right.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
it's okay? Okay. Do we have minutes from the annual meetings that show votes? I've never seen my own vote count, and I kind of like to see that. I'd like to see prior, I would like to see who was voted onto this board, who are current board members. I know Leanne was appointed because Fred McCutcheon resigned.
Right.
And were you elected originally, or were you appointed?
Nope, I was voted on.
You were
I
elected?
think she's the first one ever that was appointed, to my knowledge.
Okay. Are those minutes available to show, like, vote counts?
I mean,
What-
probably,
Do we
What years,
maintain,
or what years?
yeah, it depends how far
do we
back
maintain minutes?
we have been.
If they were given to it, we, CMG does, yes.
As a nonprofit, are we bound by law to maintain records?
Maintain records, yeah.
And minutes of meetings, like annual meeting, that's a pretty important one.
Yeah, I mean, we have as far back as we have, I don't know.
If you can give me a specific year, I can look to see if we were given those minutes,
Yeah, in the past 3 years.
Check.
including this one we just had this year.
Yeah.
Did you?
Done.
All right, this will be our last one, we're over time. Go for it.
In the past, you had the contracts that were readily available, and you could look at all the contracts, and there was nothing special in it that says, you can't look at this contract. I do contracts, everything's totally available for anyone to look at when the person wins, and they know that. There shouldn't be any reason why we all can't look at those contracts. And if there is something in them that says that, then it needs to come out, so that we have that transparency.
Yeah.
It's time for
I
transparency.
agree.
All of these hidden things and hidden agendas need to be over.
I'm good. And I've said multiple times tonight, I'm gonna call him tomorrow, and I will get that contract out, whatever I can get out, so that we can have it. And all the other ones we've already shared. They're all public. It's just CMGs that I don't know the answer to about that. I still want to break a rule that we agreed to.
I
How long
actually
are
talked to
these
my
contracts
attorney.
for?
How long is
What
yours,
they
3 years?
I
can't remember. I think
All
it's,
better for months.
Jerry's I think was 3.
No, Jerry's is a yearly contract.
Was it?
I believe
Maybe
so.
then yours is 3.
I'll have to check, each community is different.
They're not super long, so there's always be really to revisit.
I'm sorry, Eric, could you repeat that? You said CMG has a 3-year contract?
We're not sure. I can't remember.
You said it was a month,
Probably something
last
with the
month,
Georgia-
you said it was a month,
The
to
Georgia
month.
bank
It's not
account.
true.
It's not true that you said that, or it's not true that it is a month? to
I've
month?
certainly never said
Georgia,
that.
because it's in business, so that's for 36.
All right. So I'll motion to adjourn.
Disagree.
Yes.
I'm not a funeral to go to tomorrow morning, but if you miss by Wednesday morning, at least have the invoice on the flash drive.
That's fine. Just email me when
And also, your other question,